be the Lethargic Chewie and Mark Ham'All show, and we'll go with that. So, but let's do a little bit of toy talk or any 3D printing talk. Any new additions, Mark, this week? Or you been too busy for fun?
Not toys or 3D printing, but I do have a production folder.
Okay, explain.
Masters of the Universe.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, I kind of collect them. I don't have very many of them, but it's pretty cool because it was episode 100.
Okay.
And it was directed by Quinn Wetzler, which she ended up being the first woman to be a producer for a major animation studio.
Oh,
and she did the first 2 seasons of Transformers.
Nice.
So she signed off on it and everything. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, and then it's got like the production sketches in it. You know, kind of tell.
Dude, that's awesome.
It should be. Yeah, this is. I like this stuff. And the thing is, these are super cheap too.
Really? I figured you paid a high penny for that one. A high penny, whatever that means.
$25.
Oh, that's not bad at all for a piece of for animation history like that. Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've got a whole little portfolio here that I've got.
All Motu, huh?
In there.
Yeah.
It doesn't really get expensive till you get into the sales.
Okay.
And then even those, I mean, they're still like $60-$70 depending on what you get.
Okay.
There's one guy that has like all the good cells, like all the cells from the opening, Castle Grayskull, Prince Adam, I Have the Power. He's got all of those, and he just it's ridiculous. But
wow, dude, that's cool. Yeah, I thought that would have been a high dollar item for sure. But yeah. That's a cool collection to have.
Because it's stuff that I watched as a kid, and it's like this is what they used to make it. It's like what I saw as a kid is right here in my hand when they make it,
the hands that touch that. Yeah, man, mine is not near as cool as yours. Not near as cool. But after watching now four episodes of Ahsoka, I finally caved and gave in to the Rosario Dawson likeness of it, and I picked up the Black series from the Mandalorian.
Okay.
Just to have on the shelf.
Yeah.
Found it on eBay cheap. It was like a damaged box, but of course the figure's fine. So I thought that's the newest addition to the collection. But I was like, I caved, and I wasn't going to get her likeness, but after watching, I was like, man, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm kicking myself. I didn't get I walked around last year with the Mando Ahsoka, the vintage collection.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is $17. I was like, just like I put it down. I was like, I should have got it.
That's crazy money, man. Some of that stuff. So, all right, let's see. There's other stuff to toy talk. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick for us. And I don't, I think I know where you're at on this, but I'll bring it up anyway. Those for watching and those checking this out a little bit later. Are you in or out on these guys? I don't know. Can you see them? Well, that's not them. There they are. Can you see the holiday figures?
Yeah. Was that Stan Musial, your wallpaper?
Oh, yeah. That's Stan Musial.
Yeah.
Stan the man. Let's go back. Let's tribute to Stan. There he is. And all the crazy stuff on my desktop.
Awesome.
Yeah. What have you got any of these from? Because this is what, year 3 or 4 of these?
No, I haven't got any of them.
I've got 3. I got the regular Stormtrooper. I've got the Phase 2 Clone Trooper, and then I've got the Mandalorian or the Boba Fett version. Those are the only 3 I've got. But yeah, I won't get any of these, but these are pretty cool. I know some of some folks like to get all these cool little deals like
the
this.
Jawa.
Yeah, the Jawa's pretty cool, all red like that with a walking monkey lizard on the shoulder.
Yeah.
The Ewok's pretty tempting. It looks like a little abominable snowman.
He looks like Bumbles.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder if Bumbles bounced. New God Cornelius. I may get that just for that purpose. Now you said that, brother.
I have Target years ago, 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
They had a set of Rudolph bobblehead dolls.
Oh, nice.
And I just bought the whole set. Like that was my Christmas decorations when I was single. That's all I put out was Rudolph, Bumbles, Yukon, Hermie, I think.
Yeah.
And I still got them. They weren't allowed out, once.
Yeah, that's once you get married, some of those things go back. Yeah, good buddy of mine who's in the group, Buster Young, he's local, and he has all the what are the Rankin figures, like from the series, from Santa Claus Has Come to Town, Rudolph, Frosty. And he used to, I don't know if he does still, but his like upstairs at his house, like part of it, he would just display those like from November on. Just super sweet figures. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he does it again this year. So we'll have to try to get him to share it on the page. So all right, let's see. One more thing.
I have a hard time because I keep everything in the box.
Oh, so you're a box guy. I didn't know that.
Those Black Series, they just take up so much room.
Yeah, they do. That's for sure. Let's see. One other thing, and I know you know it's coming. We're going to talk about it. Is the HasLab.
Yeah.
I can't believe it, man. It made. I was surprised.
Oh, they got my orders. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, they went 21,000. Look at that.
Yeah.
Almost 22,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I really thought I didn't think they'd make it. Maybe that's just shows how little I know the market. But so I guess that's all the tiers. So all the figures, and plus they'll make the Sabine and the chopper for folks to buy otherwise. So with that mural background, it'll be pretty cool. So, but man, just the real estate that it's going to take up once it shows up, and over a year from now.
Yeah.
So, but that's cool that made. I know a lot of folks are excited. I know Jay was posting the group, and I think Jim was kind of lamenting that he had to get out on it, and that happens. I just have nowhere for it, and I just couldn't justify the $500, honestly. So
yeah,
but anyway, it made. Congratulations to those getting the Ghost in a year. It'll be a cool ship to get. Now we did see it this week, so that's a good thing. So, and that is Ahsoka episode 4. The Fallen Jedi. All right. Before we even get started, where you at, Mark? Who's the Fallen Jedi in this?
I mean, obviously, you think Ahsoka.
Yeah.
She walked away, but
and she fell.
And she literally, she Black Widowed it there at the end.
Yeah. Nice. No soul stone required, or maybe there was. I don't know.
Yeah. Like Ahsoka dropped early, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, the way they leave it, definitely Ahsoka is a prime candidate for it. So
yeah, but after watching it, I mean, were they talking about Sabine, or was she just Kate?
Yeah, was it Sabine? Was it or they keep going back to like in the subtitles or the audio description, they keep calling Shin and Balin, false Jedis. So I'm wondering if he's actually more of a fallen Jedi in this, because there's a lot of focus on his subtle comments that really point to a little more refinement in him, the whole witchcraft, lost faith, all this other stuff, which I know we'll probably get into, but whether he's the candidate for that, I don't know. So or it could be Mr. Anakin Skywalker we see at the very end too. He's indeed a fallen Jedi.
If it's him.
Yeah. I mean, we know for sure he's a fallen Jedi, but who knows? But it's kind of like every week. I think, the titles can go any way, Time to Fly, whatever. Yeah. So, but so as it plays out, we'll see who that fallen Jedi is. I think there's so many questions that are still looming as we move forward. Maybe that's what we'll do at the end, just kind of keep a tally. Okay, what questions do we still need to have answered? And then the list is long. So well, man, I always have an agenda I want to roll through, but what's on the forefront of your mind with this episode? You're like, man, I just got to get it out before I just blow up. Anything?
Wouldn't really want to watch the episode, but like I said, when I went back and looked up the meanings of the names instead of just Shin and Hati being old Norse wolves or whatever, I looked up their names, and when I found out that Hati in Old Norse was like one who hates, but then in Egyptian it means kindness.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking she's going to switch because she doesn't wear black clothes. She wears the brown robes. She
Yeah.
has the Jedi braid.
Yeah.
And I just think that maybe I said no theories. There's no theory, but this is what could possibly happen.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That after Sabine just caved and gave the star map to Balin, he knows that he can pretty much manipulate her.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And he knows that she's wanting to train. Maybe he senses that she'll be a good candidate, not because she's strong with the Force, but because she's Mandalorian.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that could make, I think I could see him using when they finally get where they're going, being like, "Oh, Ezra's dead. Sorry,"
Yeah.
and her believing that.
Yeah, the bait and switch.
That causing her to turn, and then Shin getting jealous, and then running, coming back to the light, to the Jedi.
Yeah, I like her character. She's got some weird ticks about her there with some weird. Yeah. I mean, that one scene where they're in the forest and she's just like kind of up on a log, and then she throws off her cape and just jumps down. Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But
and is Balin her dad?
I don't know, man.
Because the way he reacted when Ahsoka force pushed her was like if somebody did push my kid and I was going after him.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a parent reaction. That wasn't, oh, that's my.
So you think it may be more than just a master and apprentice thing, maybe a father-daughter. I don't know. I mean, because how would he find someone that was force sensitive in the midst of surviving Order 66? And obviously he found her much later than Order. Well, I don't know if it would be. Yeah, I guess it would have to be much later than Order 66 for her age, unless it was his own child.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. Huh.
But I'd heard maybe there was like, nah, there's no way. When I saw that reaction, I was like, that was a parent reaction to somebody hurt their kid.
I'm writing it down. Mark's calling it. Parent relationship here. So but yeah, she's cool. I think when we get to talking about that fight, there's several things there that are definitely noteworthy. But man, just those faces that she makes, the way she turns her head, it reminds me of something else, like some horror movie or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
gives me the creeps a bit, honestly. But we can see definitely her clothing is more light side looking. Yeah, like you said, with the Jedi braid, and maybe that's just part of Balin's attachment to the past too, and trying to do things over. Because we know he's not all in on the dark side. We know that he's close, but he's not all in. He's wanting something better, restoration. The greater good, if you will. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
I heard people comparing him to Thanos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So just that, it's going to be better, but hey, this destruction has to come before the new beginnings. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I don't know about that one. But everything's on the table.
A character trait, just
seeing
he's doing something for the greater good, but at what cost?
Yes, yeah. And it's interesting you brought up the wolf thing. You think that there's some significance to that, or do you think that's just Filoni doing his wolf thing?
I think it's just Filoni
I think so too. He's gonna find a way to incorporate the wolf in it.
And that's what I kept telling people with Marrok.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no connection. And
we called it last week. Marrok
I had to leave a group over it. I was just like, I can't do this. Like I'm 44 years old. I'm not gonna argue like we're in high school over Star Wars. I'm like,
that's right. We'll talk about it. We'll have fun like kids, but we ain't gonna argue like this.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So I guess we'll just kind of run through it, and if there's some cool stuff that pops up to us, by all means, we'll chase it. We'll keep an eye on the Facebook side. So guys and gals over there, feel free to to chime in or jump in the room with us. Maybe Thor will hop in here soon with us as well. So he'll bring the thunder. So we start out, obviously they're hiding out in the woods. They're on the ship trying to get the comms up and everything like that. Oh man, what's the robot's name? Huang or who? Huang? I can't remember his name right now.
Hu Yang, right?
Yeah, sorry.
I keep want to say Wu Tang.
Wu-Tang, yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
So we'll just call him that. But he's outside working. Well, first off, we have the very, I feel like the very Dagobah kind of scene. Ahsoka's out there pondering, and it's got the fog coming up from the terrain, and then Sabine comes out there, and you get the comment, what is it? Can I trust you or something? Can I count on you? Can I count on you?
Yeah.
I mean, in that moment, they're broadcasting, something's going to happen.
Yep.
So, and it ain't going to turn out good.
Nope.
So, the big time decision is going to have to be made. We can't allow them to get there. And, that obviously means we've got to destroy the map and all that, as we'll see how that plays out. And she knows that, things aren't right in Sabine's heart. And I wonder if that's, I'm sure it is tying into why they had Splitsville earlier, in their relationship. Because, some of the other comments that are made. So,
yeah. Now, I heard somebody saying that you could tell by the way she reacted when she thought Sabine was dead, when Shin came back, that you could tell there was an attachment there. Yeah. And they think maybe that's why she walked away the first time, was because she knew that Sabine wasn't strong with the Force and was going to take longer to train and didn't have time to give the training and didn't want to do it. Yeah. Because she didn't want to be responsible for her getting hurt.
Yeah. And
so,
she definitely
until we get that backstory.
Yeah. Yeah, until we don't. We're just coming up with all kinds of stuff. And she definitely saw the danger of attachment, with Anakin and all that. So, yeah, I could see that for sure. So they have that little interaction, and the Wu-Tang Clan robot comes down. He's, checking on him, and then he's going to do a little work. And then we get the privy of a droid fight, which is always nice.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but at our house, when that movie, what was it called? It had Hugh Jackman in it.
Real Steel?
Yeah, Real Steel.
Yep.
When it came out, man, it was getting played nonstop.
Yeah.
So I was getting flashbacks of Real Steel. Bots battling it out.
Yeah.
You figured, man, with all that Jedi training he's done, he'd be a little better at, he'd master the assassin droid pretty well, but he got pinned in. Arms. Yeah, right. He did use one of them to kind of give him the old pushback, but then they obviously they storm the ship or storm the area, and we get to see the master and apprentice at work fighting together. That was pretty cool. You got the Jedi here, and you got the Mandalorian rolling around behind her, blasting people.
Yep.
So give them an idea of what it would be like if they were working together, and then of course we get that heavy-handed stay together. Oh, we will together. All that, and I was like, come on, that's a little much, guys.
We will, Dad.
Yeah, we will, Dad. Thanks. All right, now we're gonna go run through the forest.
Yeah.
That looked goofy. I'm just gonna say the running through the forest looked goofy.
Yeah, you can tell it was in the volume, but
yeah. Well, and just the concept, okay. Ahsoka, is it Force enhanced? She's obviously dialing it back. She's not running full speed because Sabine's keeping up with her, and she's just running through the. I just think it's just weird looking. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. So, but the jaunt through the forest, but then. We run up on my missus. Well, I guess we get a glimpse back at the hinge, or the ruins with Morgan and Balin, and they're talking about everything. And I think is that where he makes that comment about witchcraft and losing faith and all that.
Yeah. So you scared? You sound scared. No, it's experience.
Yeah. So there's definitely something there where he's more than, and we already know this, but he's more than what what we're seeing so far. There's his backstories, prepared him for things like this. His backstories obviously has a disdain for witchcraft, and that, I mean, I'm sure any good Jedi would. Lost faith, so that's something's happened there. So that's one of the, I guess, as we think about the questions to answer is, where's his character going? Where's it been and where's it going?
Yeah.
I know you're not a theory guy in this one, but there's so many that want to be there. You know what I'm saying? So we just don't want our hopes dashed.
So they've given too much good stuff to not go, well, what if this and this?
Oh, I know.
I'm not buying in on a theory. I'm
just going to let it roll.
I'm adjusting.
Yes. You have you're just using what they give you, and then you add on to it, and then
right. If this happens, cool. If not, okay.
Yeah. That way you keep the disappointment down. The disappointment down. Low expectations. I need to work on that. Low expectations. So they finally they're running through the forest, and there they come up on them. The dynamic duo of Shin and Marrok. Interesting that Sabine was quick to go after Shin, pulls the blasters, and off they go, peeling off in the forest after each other. I was watching with two of my boys. I go, oh great, here we go with a Force Awakens lightsaber duel.
Yeah.
But I'd say it was much better than that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Night and day. But Ahsoka, man, she looked like she was ready she was actually taking delight in going up against Marrok. She was like, this is easy. Had a little smirk on her face.
Yeah. I'm so glad she didn't do the usual, when they start spinning the lightsabers, just go in the middle,
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't go back to that.
Yeah.
That she timed it and got in between the blades and just.
Yep. Just took him out.
I thought that's pretty cool.
Well, I was wondering too, maybe other than early on in I guess you could say she appeared in Clone Wars, but since then she's always used both lightsabers. So I wonder why they chose to just go one lightsaber for both of her lightsaber matches in this. That was interesting.
And everybody kept pointing out that she took stance of one, or I don't know what they call it, but it's the stance that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon used.
Oh, okay.
And then later on, she does the strike over her head like Anakin does.
Right. Yeah. I didn't even pick that up. That's right. Yeah. I didn't know. Yeah, I was just surprised because I thought for sure. I mean, she's two saber Ahsoka. Yep. I figured with Marrok, I didn't think much about it because I was like, well, she knows that she's going to take him. She's just toying with him, much like Shin did with Sabine the first time they met, which that was different this time. But so what are we to make of the fact that when she does beat him, just this green black smoke or whatever comes out? Does that mean he was there's some necromancing going on, or what was happening? What do you think?
From what I've heard, I mean, that's just what it was. It was, Morgan found some old Inquisitor armor and reanimated
that Joker. So.
Made it the Black Knight ghost from Scooby-Doo.
Scooby, Raggy, give me a Scooby snack, man.
Yeah.
And Marrok needs something, buddy. He's done now. There's no amount of Scooby snacks bringing him back. So, did you notice Shin's face? Once he made that, and she's turned like she's like shocked. So maybe she formed an attachment.
I saw one breakdown talking about it that we saw that exact same. I didn't watch any of the Tales of the Jedi.
Okay.
But that happened in the Tales of the Jedi. There was one, I forget what it was, but it was the same situation. The voice even sounded like Marrok.
Okay.
And then the same thing, they swiped him down and I guess they decapitated him.
Uh-huh.
And when everything fell down, it just deflated. That was it. There was nothing in there.
Yeah, you're right, because it was a Ahsoka episode where they found where she was, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to spoil it since you hadn't seen it, but she does fight an Inquisitor and something very similar. I don't know if there's a smoke issue, but it definitely kind of collapsed, like his mask falls off, all this stuff. So, that is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, she makes light work of him. I mean, there's a little bit of a fight, but she gets rid of the Night Sister creation pretty quickly. Now on the other side, go ahead.
Warm up for Balin.
Yeah, warm up. Yes, she needed a warm up. Golly. But on the other side, you've got Sabine and Shin over there on the other side of the forest going at it, chopping down trees, clearing some land, getting some firewood ready for the winter. And wow, Sabine's made some progress. Shin Hati was just wore out the first time she was playing with her, but now she holds her own with her. So interesting, very interesting. Several little things in that fight were like, okay, they're telegraphing us some more things here.
Did Sabine use the Force, or was Shin messing with her when she put her hand up like that?
Yeah, see,
it was like a reaction.
Yeah, I think she was maybe strategically, doing that because she knows she doesn't have any Force. She can't even move a cup.
Right.
But kind of set her off and then use the gauntlet to pop her one.
Yeah, I like that.
And see what was neat though, and I didn't catch it till, honestly, I think my third time watching it. They go to that side, and I didn't think anything about it the first time, but then what they do a little bit later kind of made me pay more attention. All right, let me just get to it. They zoom in on the Mando helmet, okay, just there on the forest floor.
Yeah.
And then they go back to that scene, and Shin Hati's kind of got her down. She falls down, and she does the Force hand push. Shin's like, and then she pops her with that gauntlet. So showing that's the Mandalorian side of things.
Right.
Okay, so we know how the fight unfolds. Shin does the old Batman move.
Smoke, yeah.
Boom, he disappears or hides behind a tree. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, you can't see me. Boo. But then they zoom in right when Sabine picks up the lightsaber. It's almost like a transition move. They're Mandalorian, they switched it, but now she's back to being a Jedi. And then what does that mean for her actions that follow through that? And I can't help but think of Ezra's, little message at the beginning, which I heard it somewhere today. So I went back and watched it. I wrote it down. I'm trying to think where it is. Can't remember now. Well, as a Jedi, sometimes you have to make a decision no one else can.
Yeah.
So is that decision
Ahsoka even echoed that?
Yeah, that's
in
right.
This episode.
Yeah, so I don't know. Of course we know her heartstrings are attached to finding Ezra and everything. But is she going to show herself to be a true Jedi in this? Or a lot of people, like, I think you made a comment too, and others are saying, well, this is her road to the dark side or what? I don't know. I think, is it playing out like we, probably would want? Maybe not, but I think she's going to emerge, because remember, I built her resume for Jedi in this last week. So I think she's going to emerge as top-notch Jedi is going to train Jason and all this stuff down the road, but I don't know. So I skipped over this. We forgot about the scene with Hera when she, she's leaving, and her little whatever guy says, "What do you mean tell him?" He goes, "I don't know, make something up, or you find
think of something."
I think, is that something? Do we hear that somewhere else in the trilogy? I feel like we did, and I meant to look it up.
I can't place it.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little Google search here as we're thinking about it. But what did you make of the fact that she's got these 6 X-wing pilots that are coming along? And we did say, Carson Teva was probably going to show up,
and no Zeb.
What's the deal with that? I mean, I heard some people say, talk about, they were saving that for later or whatever, but I thought for sure he would be there. If Carson's made it, she'd make it, or he'd make it. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to find this here quick enough. But last time I said, if they got Carson Teva, that was going to be the segue to bring old Mando along the ride. But we didn't see him yet either. But it's not over. It's still possible. But I will stay for the record. Mandalore, Din Djarin was not in this episode. So, nor was Luke Skywalker for that matter. So, negative. So she heads off. She's got her 6X wings. Carson Teva's with him. I was listening to the guys on RFR. They said the reason Zeb's not there is because they're saving all that special effects budget for later in the episodes. Well, that's probably true. So, the big payoff is a little bit later. So, all right, we get to the match. Baylan Skull versus Ahsoka Tano. Now at your local hedge ruins. Who's going to come out on top? Well, man, that was some fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm surprised he didn't go back to the two sabers, but whatever. What do we make of her comment? I mean, his comments, about knowing Anakin. Few would see him become what he becomes. Really downplaying or really throwing a lot of, as the kids would say, or maybe they don't even say this now, throwing a lot of shade her direction. Whatever. Yeah. Talking about her legacy being like her masters of death and destruction.
Well, I think he was pretty much putting the blame on her for him turning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To try to get her off her guard.
Yeah, and you're right, because he said, does that not leave a mark or something like that? Yeah. That she was a force, or could have been a force to keep him from changing, but she abandoned him. Yeah, I didn't think about that. See how that all plays out into it. But then they light up and they go at it though with the lightsabers, dude. They just, and it seemed like though that she was kind of like with Marrok at first. She kind of had a little grin on her face, like this old dude, I got him. But things changed pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was even trying. I mean,
yeah, I know.
He was just kind of like, yeah, okay.
All right. Then he started grunting a little bit and was like, oh, you fixing to get it, Ahsoka. Throwing rocks at her and all kinds of mess. So yeah, it turned pretty quickly on her. Let's see. Ricardo's here typing stuff in French to me. Oh, he thinks she's force sensitive. I got you, brother. I can read that French. That's good. So, yeah, I think so too. I think Sabine is as well. We'll see how that all plays out. So, I've got a couple things here. Baylan said before we kind of get into some other stuff. He talks about it being inevitable when she lights up her lightsaber. So, is that again just thinking that's all she knows how to do, or does he have some type of other knowledge, because he keeps talking about seeking to secure the future or something greater. Now, we know World Between the World is a part of this. I remember some of the promo stuff before Ahsoka started. It talked about him being a man from another time, and I've heard guys on RFR and others talk about it too. That could be just because he's just the old Jedi ways, or is he from another time in the future? I don't know. I mean, because the World Between Worlds can go both ways, I would think.
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying not to get any theories started. I'm just saying it's too much conjecture, but
yeah. Yeah, because even then he would still know everything about Anakin.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or he's a traveler along the World Between Worlds. Maybe he has access to it and is able to pop in wherever he wants. But then again, why would he need to go to get Thrawn?
He's a George Carlin from Bill and Ted. But I like when he said, it doesn't have to come to this, or it didn't have to come to this. I can't remember what he said.
He said it did. Oh, when he right before he knocked her over the cliff. Yeah, he said it didn't have to come to this.
Yeah.
Or didn't need to come to this.
Well, yeah, something like that.
But no other way. That's what he said.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Yeah. So, what does that mean? Come on. But yeah, when it was interesting though when Shin shows back up, and of course, as you said, as Ahsoka responds, is she tapping into the dark side when she throws her over there like that?
Yeah.
And that obviously shows her attachment to Sabine. And then Sabine shows back up, and you would think she's excited, but she reads Sabine's heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's.
And what does she think she's going to do with that blaster? Now?
It's going to fire back.
Ralph it from Christmas story.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, it'll bounce right back off. I mean, you saw how long it took Balin to destroy it with his saber.
Oh, I know. It's like melting the doors down in episode 1 with Qui-Gon or something. God, yeah, it didn't make any sense to me either. But again, Ahsoka knows her heart, and then her heart's over the hill, so or over the cliff. So I get too excited here, so I miss things. But what did you make of the moment when Ahsoka grabs the orb or the map or whatever you want to call it off the pedestal, and it burning her hand, and we hear lightning strike and all this stuff? So what's happening there? Is there some kind of cosmic thing that's playing out even when she touches it? Or because I know a lot of people are trying to figure out, okay, how does she get into the world between worlds? Mm-hmm. Is that how? Or is there someone that grabs her again like before? Or what? I don't know.
Well, after that, they have that scene with Wu-Tang robot.
Yeah.
And the point of view from the camera's in the trees. So a lot of people were saying that it's Morai.
Yes, the owl deal.
And then if that's true, that could be how she got into the world between worlds.
Yeah, because he was there, or I don't know if it's male or female. The owl was there when she got pulled before. That's who told Ezra to pull her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Got to think about those point of view stuff.
I would have never, from a certain point of view, right?
Yeah, all right. I would not.
I never would have thought about that. I mean, I just thought, because we saw that same shot earlier with when the assassin droids came in,
right?
But they said there was no reason for it to be an aerial shot when it was just Wu-Tang.
Yeah, Wu-Tang robot.
I'm gonna say the wrong thing every time. So I'm gonna say
he's the robot.
Hu-Yang.
He's the Jedi robot. Yeah.
Hu-Yang, that's right. Every time I kept watching them, they said their name. I was like Hu-Yang. I was like trying to get in my head.
I don't think they say it the same every time, honestly.
And probably no.
So,
but that's interesting. Hand situation.
Yes. To have that aerial view like the owl would be doing it. Yeah, because then they go from that straight into the cliff, the water, and then you see her on the walkway or whatever at World Between Worlds. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, there's something in play there for sure. Well, in the moment that Sabine's got the orb and Balin's figured out she's not going to destroy it. He's read her mind, knows about Ezra and all that stuff. He said that comment, and you've probably been thinking a lot about it too. Your family died on Mandalore because your master didn't trust you.
Yep.
What in the world?
That's him trying to get her to turn.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, I know that. But what is he talking about? What? I mean, when would that have happened? Okay, obviously it doesn't happen during the Rebels timeline. Okay. So it's got to happen between Rebels and this. So it's somewhere in the original trilogy timeline, I would assume. Or if that's what he's even talking about. I've heard some people talk about the Purge of Mandalore, Night of 1,000 Tears. Yeah. We get to heard about in Mando with Moff Gideon and Bo Katan and all that. Is that what he's referring to? Or
my first thought was that last season of Clone Wars.
Okay.
During Order 66, when she's fighting Maul and all that's going on in the background. That because was that one the Purge, was it?
No, that wasn't the Purge. The Purge happened. We never really had any, other than references to the Purge, never any footage or any details about it until the Mando seasons, at least to my knowledge. But we know it.
And that's all I could link it to that we've seen on screen, while she would be there while a lot of destruction is going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what was
that would be way, way, way back.
While because your master didn't trust you. Was it, she was training her? That was during the training time, and she wanted to leave and go help, and Ahsoka refused to let her go. And maybe that's where the Splitsville happened. But then I don't know, man. There's so much things here. talking about Ahsoka leaving her, but then not trusting her. Oh, there's so many things. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get more. And then he also says this, because Shin was choking her out, and then he stops her. He says, "I gave her my word, and unlike her former master, I'll keep mine."
Yeah.
It's like, what? So the plot thickens.
Oh yeah.
Or the questions get bolder. I don't know. So she turns, but she doesn't turn. She turns over the map. So,
right.
And then they take her aboard, and then Hera and the X-Wing show up, and then the big hyper circle is going to do a holdo move, except the fact there's a big hole in the middle, so they don't really hit anything.
Yeah.
But it does take out some X-Wings in the process. And we get a little taste of, I guess it was last episode, we heard Jason say, "I want to be a Jedi." And this time he says, "I got a bad feeling." He didn't say about this.
Yeah.
But I've got a bad feeling.
Yeah.
That's his Force gut kicking in. So maybe this series will unfold, and he'll be picking up a lightsaber, or somebody will be taking him under their wing, or they'll call Luke in, "Hey, can you train this kid?" So
yeah.
That's where Luke will show up. So those guys will be happy. So, all right. So what we've been longing to talk about, the world between worlds. We've been talking around. We've mentioned it some. How in the world is Anakin there? How did she get there? What's happening?
Yeah.
And is it too much to have this in the series to the casual fans that haven't seen Rebels? But then again, there's so much in this show that they've just kind of thrown that out of the water and say, "Hey, you should have watched this stuff." So
yeah, I've seen a lot of casual fans being like, I don't care about any of this because I don't know, I don't have that connection. I'm just like, sorry. You've got Disney Plus, go watch it.
Yeah, right. I've gave my oldest some homework, because he was like, "What is this?" when he got to the world between the worlds. So I sent him videos. I was like, "Okay, you got to watch this so you know what's happening." So he told me he did this, so maybe he'll be more informed for next week. But we'll see how it goes.
But I've heard a couple of things, like one that's when Anakin was redeemed, because if you go back to the Mortis arc, the father talks about Anakin being the chosen one, and he'd be the one to take over. Is he now the father? And is that why he's able to get in there? Or is it going back to Palpatine and Rebels, where his magic starts creeping through? Was Marrok foreshadowing this as being something conjured up to mess with Ahsoka, especially with the Darth Vader theme at the end?
Yeah, see, that was it. I steer away from any benevolent aspect of Anakin in this role because that theme music came on.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm putting too much weight on that, but
people are speculating that it's Vader's lightsaber on his belt instead of
Anakin. Is that right?
Oh, if you look at it, it's not straight chrome. You can't tell if it's reflecting some of the black, but there's like chrome piece at the top, and it's black, and then just like one little chrome strip, and just like Vader's lightsaber.
See, I think because there's nothing wasted in these episodes. We know that. Now we could probably say things were in others, but this one there's nothing been wasted. So the saber, the music, that tells me there's something sinister with his presence there. So how in the world, if it is indeed the sinister Anakin or Vader, how does he get in there? How does he know? Well, I guess he would know about it because he saw her disappear in that battle they were having. He didn't know how, but she just disappeared. Then maybe he did his homework, or Palpatine told him, or whatever, because Palpatine knows about it. And another question is, and I heard somebody stir around in this, I can't remember where, they didn't pursue it all the way out, but if Anakin really knows all there is to know about the world between worlds, what's to keep him from going and getting Padme and keeping her from dying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe I'm overthinking that, but
Yeah. But the thing is, they have to be returned back to the same portal or the same gate they came out of, right? Like they
No,
can't go into another one, or it'll
well,
just mess everything up.
that's true
But
because
that's what
Ahsoka
Ahsoka
was
said,
pulled out of
and
that temple, and that's where she went back.
she says, "I have to go back here."
Yeah. Where will I don't where would Ahsoka go back? Where would he go? Well, yeah, I guess you're right. So he couldn't take her out.
I mean, he could, and they could just hang out in the world between worlds forever.
Yeah. Or do we know that for sure? That's a deduction, I guess, just from that one, because we don't have a lot of information. It's
Yeah.
a bunch of we just got this small sample size of what happened to Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And then of course, as we talked about with Palpatine coming out of the portal that one time trying to get to him. So
Yeah, and I did not remember his hand getting through until I rewatched it.
yeah, I didn't, because I know there's one scene where he's like right up against it, but then it
Yeah.
shows it again where it's coming through. Yeah, I went back after you told me that and checked it out myself. Well, but then even Anakin says, he calls her by Snips, of course.
Yeah.
What was that quote? I didn't expect to see you so soon.
Yeah.
So he's waiting on me.
Yeah,
But is it more on the benevolent side then when you think of
Yeah.
that, is this because her life's over and this is the afterlife, or
if it's purgatory,
yeah, from that perspective there's some type of refinement that's happening. Now here's again questions.
Yeah.
Is this the way that Ahsoka is going to be able to get to Sabine and them over on the other side, wherever they've gone to now?
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, I did see. I guess it was one of the guys over in the Gulliverse. Ted Adam Green. He had posted a poll on there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, about it maybe being like Groundhog Day or Jump Back, Wonderful Life. It's just like a time loop. Let me come back and take the ball, do this, all these things, change it up. Hey, it'd be crazy. Who knows what would happen? Be like the time heist and Avengers. So I don't know, man. That's so many questions, and that's a good show though. That gets you thinking until the next episode. So
and the thing that I really enjoyed about it was afterwards when I go on YouTube, it was nothing but positive comment.
Yes, yeah.
Like even the people that have been down in it, like, oh, it's horrible. They're like, this is perfect.
Yeah, it was some of the best Star Wars we've seen in a long time.
Oh
yeah, by far. It is going to be good this week not to have a bunch of videos about Marrock's identity. So, I'm glad that's finally by us. Did you hear that they're doing some kind of special celebration deal for the halfway, and they're showing episode 5 in theaters?
Yeah.
That tells you right there it's going to be epic. It's got to be. They're not going to waste none of them has been filler, but they're not going to waste a short episode in a theater.
There's a Filoni directed episode.
Okay.
And Rosario Dawson's already said this was her favorite one to shoot.
Oh man, I cannot wait.
So, and I was thinking, ooh, they're doing it in theaters. Are we getting over an hour long episode?
Yeah.
49-minute runtime.
Okay. Well, it's longer than the last couple.
I'm not going to the theater for 49 minutes.
No, I can't. I don't even know if it's playing anywhere close to me, honestly. I haven't even looked.
I'm not even looking. I'm like, that's not worth
watching the comfort of my home back to back.
65
Watch it twice.
TV. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, but it just tells you it's going to be something of magnitude. So
yeah,
I have a feeling a lot of questions are going to be answered in this next episode.
And they actually advertised this one, unlike when they did the sneak preview for episode 1 and 2, where they just invited favorable Disney critics.
Oh, that's right. That's when they're putting out there, so you can go and go see it. So, well, anything else, man, that in this episode that rattling around in your brain that you thought, man, I want to talk about this, or I've been thinking about this? Check over the Facebook side. Ricardo commented a little while ago talking about how it'd be cool if Balin was from the future, but everything else is kind of quiet over there. I think they've left it to us, man, on the Thursday nights. It looks like. Oh, that's fine. I enjoy it. I look forward to thinking about it all week and then getting together and hashing it out with you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just ready to see what Morgan really is.
Okay.
I'm sure once she gets where her ancestors are from,
Oh, so you're gonna be
it's
vicious.
going to be
Yeah.
And is Maul coming back?
Hmm. You know, there's. Have you seen that video that's online? I think we were chatting about it the other day. It was on one of the reels or YouTube shorts, and some behind the scenes footage of Ahsoka against some what is it? What is his species called? The Zabrak or whatever. That's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something.
the Maul type character.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing anything like that anywhere before. And that could be some fan film that somebody was making, but I don't know. We still got 4 episodes to go, so we'll see.
There's speculation that in the first episode, when she's in the temple, or she's in why am I drawing a blank on their name?
Oh,
The Dark Sisters,
oh,
right?
Morgan, are you talking about? No.
Well, Ahsoka, when she goes to get the map in the temple,
Oh, okay, yeah.
it being one of their temples.
Yeah, the Night Sister deals, yeah.
The Night Sister, yeah, with them being so connected to Maul that there's when she's looking at everything, there's when she finds the map, I believe when she finds the map, there's if with the subtitles on it says ghostly whispers. And it sounds kind of like Sam Witwer's Maul.
Oh, I may have to go back and listen to that.
And now that's what everybody with Marrok, they're like, well, I mean, if Sam Witwer is credited for a voice credit in that episode, and Marrok wasn't in there, I mean, he could have been whatever, but
yeah.
So,
well, he was credited again in that second episode when she goes and she activates the map and she hears a voice calling to her. Yeah, you're onto something, I think.
So, they've already brought him back one, or not brought him. Well, I guess they brought him back, but is the Marrok set up for
just telling us what kind of stuff we're working with? Yeah.
Maul comes back and he turns good, and he's the Jedi that everybody's talking about.
Okay. we've done it all here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. You never know. So many questions to be answered, from who is Baylan to who's the real Jedi, who's not a Jedi, who's is Darth Maul coming back, is Ahsoka ever going to get out of the world between worlds? Is she going to set up a tent and now live there with Anakin in the little glory days and play catch? I don't know. We'll see what'll happen. Well, the tally was still hanging in there. You're saying Thrawn shows up in episode 8. You still hanging on to that?
Maybe 7.
Okay, maybe 7.
But yeah, I still think that scene we see in the trailer is the last scene of the season.
Yeah, and he's on the bridge of that hyperlink thing.
Yeah.
Hyper ring. Yeah, I'm hanging out at 7. As we noted before, Luke is not in this episode, nor is Mando, for those keeping up at home. So
it's gonna be straight Rebels. They're not gonna have any outside.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like, I don't know. Well, being it's a Filoni deal, maybe you're right. I'd love to see Mando show up and help out, but maybe not. Just the connectivity of this timeline. So Luke I'd be okay with, because I mean the story is Ahsoka and Sabine and Baylan and all those guys. So this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I hope Baylan's story has some finality in this.
I was about to ask you that, and the main reason I think it might, there's been no talks of recasting them.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
No murmurs of, and that could just be them, not saying anything to spoil anything.
Right.
But with something like that, people are normally asking, over how they're going to recast. You know, is it going to be this, or that? I mean, there's been none of that going around.
And dude, he's done a great job. I've enjoyed his character immensely. So, you know,
I heard somebody say this because I was talking about how like menacing he was. Somebody described him as just being elegant, strong and elegant. I was like, that's more what I was just that whole, like, I don't know, confident, elegant. You know?
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, I hate that he's no longer with us, but yeah, he did a great job. But I think, like you said, being that nobody's recasting all that stuff, maybe his story will get some finality here. And I mean, I wonder if Shin's will as well. Maybe they both will. So we'll see. We'll know in a few episodes, I guess. So
it would be bad to see another series like this have to be rearranged and not know what we could have. Like, I really wonder if Carrie Fisher didn't pass away, how different the sequel trilogy would have ended up.
Oh yeah, because she died between what, Last Jedi and Rise, is that right? Yeah, I think it would have been the Last Jedi. I mean, the Rise would have been definitely different, for sure. Back with JJ and all that. So, you know, on a collecting note, I really thought after the reveals they had the week before that the Marrok figure would be more prominent, because you're getting a vintage collection, you're getting a Black Series, but I'm like, who gives a rat's tail? That you know, I want a Balin Skull, I want a Shin IT. That's who I want.
Yeah.
So,
well, but maybe they're coming. I was going back and forth with those other people that were the King Arthur historian.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that everybody became.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, man, I said, and this is before I saw the leak about Marrok. I was like, I mean, that'd be like saying that because he's, you know, in black armor and he's associated with King Arthur, that he's the Black Knight from Monty Python. And it ended up being more correct. That's
right. Hey, for profit. There you go. This shows we don't know anything. Just sit back and enjoy the ride, as I think Jimmy Mack says. Enjoy Star Wars. So
like I said, they've missed the mark, quote unquote, on too many other things in the past that I'm just like, anything we try to think of, it's probably not going to be that.
Yeah, I will say I've enjoyed the kind of each week kind of processing it all and thinking through things, and then kind of seeing how it comes out, and trying to do so without having feelings attached to those thoughts, you know.
Yeah, and I do prefer the weekly release.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
I know a lot of people like to just binge it, but I'm just like, no, I like breathe, and
I do too.
Give us time to talk about it.
Yeah, I agree, and I like what they did by moving it to a set time. And granted, I guess you could always made a set time for your family, but I like the fact that it's kind of a time that I know that with me and my boys we're going to sit down and we're going to watch it. So, and it's at a time when that we can do that and not have to worry about being spoiled all day or whatever. So, yeah, it's been a fun ride so far. Looking forward to seeing where it's going to take us. So many things, so many questions.
And this one even supposed to be the big episode.
All right.
You know. The next one is.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine how it's going to top this one. So
I'm just kind of worried now, since that was billed as the big one, and everybody's crazy about this one. Is this one going to fall short now because of expectations?
Yeah, the bar's been set pretty high, so we'll see. Well, Mark, as usual, it has been a pleasure, my friend, just to hang out with you for a little while and talk Star Wars, the Ahsoka series. So. Look forward to seeing what you add to your collection for next week or create for your collection. So, no pressure. Don't feel like you got to come up with something every week. Man, what am I gonna do?
I gotta print something.
I've got something on the way that I'm looking forward to showing off next week if it gets here in time. I've been wanting to get for a long time, but I'm thinking it'll be here by time. So
here's that cup that I posted.
Oh yeah.
And then on the backside, I got.
So did you make those decals? I guess.
Yeah. So I was like, I can actually probably sell these now. People know what Tano means.
Yeah, right. Now's the time, really, man, to market it. You get the business booming off it now. So, well, very well, my friend. Have a good rest of the week and a great weekend, and we'll be lining it up on Tuesday to watch it, and about 5 or 6 times before we meet again on Thursday. So,
Yep.